Hi everyone and welcome back. In today's video, you'll learn how to mine resources in Factorio. It is a topic that you will need early in the game and that can get a bit complex for some resources. Today you will learn the different resources to mine, the different ways you can mine them, and what they can be used for. You'll also learn the different drills, their differences, and how you can make them more efficient. After that, you will see a few different designs for your mining machines as well as a summary for the pollution and power consumption. Let's get started. There are 5 different resources that can be mined in Factorio: coal, stone, iron ore, copper ore, and uranium. Those resources are scattered across the map. You will need to explore the map to find new patches to replace or expand to the existing one. But why are those resources useful? The coal can be used as a fuel for many machines, including burners and locomotives. It is an essential resource, especially in the early stage of the game. The stone is not the most used resource, but it will still be an ingredient of a few key recipes, including rails that will be needed to use trains, bricks that are themselves an ingredient to craft walls, which are very important for the defenses, and stone furnace that will be the first solution to smelt resources. The iron ore is not a resource that can be used by itself. It needs to be smelted first in a furnace. The first furnace can be easily obtained by mining stone. Once smelted, iron ore will become iron plates. Iron plate is a common ingredient to many recipes and therefore will be needed in fairly large quantities. Some of the recipes are belt, ammunition, circuits, iron gears, wheels, and many more. The copper ore, just like the iron ore, is not a resource that is directly useful because it needs to be smelted first. Once smelted, the copper ore becomes a copper plate. Copper plates are not used in as many recipes as the iron ore, but they tend to be needed in large quantities because they are a key ingredient of copper cable circuits. Copper cables are themselves a key ingredient for electronic circuits and advanced circuits, which both require this resource in large quantities. For that reason, it should be expected to have a high demand for copper ore. The last resource that can be mined is uranium. This resource is rarer to find. It is not a resource that is needed in basic recipes and is more a resource needed later in the game. This resource is different from the others because it requires a liquid, the sulfuric acid, to be mined. Therefore, it cannot be mined manually or with a burner mining drill. This liquid will need to be produced and delivered to the miners, which does not make it accessible early in the game. Uranium ore needs to be processed by a centrifuge and produce 2 different resources, the uranium-235 in small quantities and the uranium-238 in large quantities. Those resources can then be used in other recipes such as ammunition, uranium fuel cells, and more. Those resources can be mined manually except for the uranium ore. It means that you can use the pickaxe from your character to gather those resources. To do so, you simply need to right-click on the resource. If you leave the right button on your mouse pressed, it will mine the resource multiple times. The same technique can be used to mine rocks. Rocks are slightly different from the other resources, as they don't contain as much resources and cannot be mined by mining machines. They also act as obstacles, so you can't go through them or build on top of them. They will also be scattered across the map and can contain stone and coal. It is an easy way to gather those resources in the early stage of the game. There are 3 different types of rocks: big rocks that yield 20 stones, big sandy rocks that yield between 19 and 25 stones, and huge rocks that yields between 24 and 50 stones and coal. Mining resources manually is a great solution at the start, but it's not sustainable in the long term as it would take too long to mine the resources. Automation is key, and there are machines that will allow us to implement it: the burner mining drills and the electric mining drills. Burner mining drills is the most accessible mining drill. It is made of iron gear wheels, iron plates, and a stone furnace. Those ingredients are easy to get and have very simple base ingredients, only stones and iron plates. This allows you to craft burner mining drills very quickly. Those drills need fuel to run. The only fuels that will be available that early in the game are coal and wood. Coal that can be gathered in different ways, either from coal patches or rocks. Wood can be obtained by chopping trees, but it is consumed faster than coal. This fuel is important because the miner will not run without it, meaning the production will be paused if they are lacking. The fuel can be placed directly on the mining drill, but its slots have limited space, 50 for the coal and 100 for the wood. It means it will quickly run out of fuel. A more permanent solution is to use belts, but that early in the game it is not so easy to have belts, and the coal could be far away from the other resources you need to mine. A good temporary alternative is to use chests as buffers. Chests can hold more items. A burner mining drill can directly place the mine resources into a chest, but for the fuel, an inserter will be needed to move the fuel from the chest to the burner mining drill. Burner mining drills have a height and a width of 2 spaces. There is also the mining area it covers. It means anything outside of this area won't be mined. The electric mining drill is a more advanced mining drill and is accessible a little bit later in the game, but still very quickly. It is made of electronic circuits, iron gear wheels, and iron plates. The electronic circuits needs to be assembled, but the rest of the ingredients are easy to get. Electric drills don't need fuel to run, but they need electricity. This simplifies the design as there is no need to worry about delivering coal and eventually running out of it. If the power generation is easier to manage, it is still important there is enough power produced or the drills will work slower or stop working completely. Electric mining drills are bigger than burner mining drills. Their width and height is 3 instead of 2. It also has a bigger mining area. It does not only cover the size of the drill, but it exceeds it as it covers an area of 5 by 5. There is one extra space for the height and width. It is useful as it can cover areas where a belt is placed, for example. Another important difference is that electric mining drills can have modules. There are 3 types of modules with different levels. The type of module to use depends on your need, but one type allows you to boost the speed of your mining drill. It will deplete the ore patch faster, but you can fully fill a belt more easily. It is not always possible to achieve this result by increasing the number of drills, given it depends on the size of the patch, which you can't control. As you advance within the game, you will unlock technologies such as mining productivity research that allows to boost the productivity of your mining drills, both the burner and the electric ones. It is another way to have the same amount of drills to produce resources faster. When comparing both drills, the electric mining drill comes on top. When looking at the mining speed, the electric mining drill is twice as fast as the burner mining drills, with a mining speed of 0.5. Burner mining drills also have a bigger energy consumption with 150 kW compared to 90 kW for electric drills, and produce more pollution with 12 pollution per minute against 10 for electric drills. Stay until the end to see the comparison. It also has a bigger mining area, can carry modules and use electricity. All these features make the electric mining drill more flexible as you can improve its productivity, create better design, and don't need to transport fuel. It is better to switch to electric mining drills as soon as you can. You now know the basics of mining, so let's see a few different designs, starting with the burner mining drills. First, let's place a few drills. Those drills will mine ore and pull it where the arrow is pointing. To transport those resources, a belt can be used, so let's use a yellow belt. A yellow belt has the capacity to move 15 items per second. With the drills mining 0.25 items per second, you need 60 of them to fill a full yellow belt. It is obviously not required to start with that many, but exceeding this number won't be useful as those extra drills will be idling. Those drills have everything set up to transport the mine resources, but it still cannot work because it hasn't got any fuel yet. There are different fuels that can be used, but the best option in the early game is coal. To deliver those resources, belts will be used as well as inserters. These belts and inserters will be on the left and right side of the drills. Electric poles will be needed to deliver electricity to the inserters. Yellow inserters are fast enough in this case. If you let this design run long enough, you will quickly see that all the drills are active and the belt is full. When upgrading from the yellow belt to the red one, the belt capacity goes from 15 items per second to 30. There is no need to upgrade the belt that transports the coal as the fuel consumption is low enough. Given the belt capacity has doubled, the production needs to double too. For that reason, you will also need to double the number of drills to 120 if you desire to have the belt full of ore. When upgrading from the red belt to the blue one, the belt capacity goes from 30 items per second to 45. There is no need to upgrade the belt that transports the coal either, as the fuel consumption is still low enough. To match the belt transport capacity, the number of drills will need to go up to 180. Once you have unlocked a few mining productivity research, the drills will have a good productivity increase, reducing the amount of drills needed to produce the same amount of resource. Let's assume a bonus of 40%. You'd only need 44 drills to produce 15 items per second, 86 drills to produce 30 items per second, and 130 drills to produce 45 items per second. Let's now jump to the electric mining drills. The main difference with electric mining drills is that they need electricity and not fuel. Electricity was already needed for the burners mining drills to run the inserters, so it will not make a big difference on that side, but it no longer needs belts to transport the fuel, which will simplify the design. The drill is bigger, but the mining area is also bigger, and it is even bigger than the drill. It means there won't be any ore left under the belt, given that area will still be mined. It also means you won't need to move miners around to mine the whole patch. The mining area can be seen when hovering over the electric mining drills. To deliver electricity, electric poles will need to be placed. It can be placed on top, below, or on the side of the drill. It does not matter as the drill will still mine that area. Same goes for the belts. They need to be placed where the arrow of the drill points, as this is where it will deliver the produced resource, but the drill will still mine the resource under the belt. You can replicate the design on the other side of the belt. This will ensure both sides of the belt have resources. If only one side of the belt were to have ore, only half its transport capacity would be used. In this case, half of a yellow belt. It would decrease the belt capacity to 7.5 items per second. Then you can build a full column of electric mining drills. To fill a yellow belt without any bonuses, it will take 30 drills. When duplicating a column of drills, keep in mind it does not have to stick to the other column, as both columns have an extra mining space. The electric poles can also be reused. To improve the performance of the electric mining drill, modules can be used. There are 3 different types of modules that will allow you to either boost the productivity, the speed, or the efficiency. The choice is yours. The only modules that would impact the throughput is the speed module. If 3 speed modules of level 3 were used, you would get a 150% mining speed bonus. Let's now look at a quick summary. Let's start with the number of drills needed to fill the different belts according to their speed modules and bonuses. Then let's see a summary on how the different characteristics of the drills are affected regarding their modules and bonuses. Let's follow with a summary on the total power consumption it would take to run the design to fully fill a belt. And finally, the total pollution it would take to run the design to fully fill a belt